Confidence and maturity are two of the most powerful qualities that make a man attractive at any stage of life, but they become even more valuable as a man grows older. For many men, aging often brings self-doubt. They may look in the mirror and focus only on the gray hairs, the wrinkles, or the changes in their physique. They start believing that their appeal has faded with youth. But in reality, attraction goes far beyond physical appearance. What truly makes a man stand out, what makes him memorable and desirable, is the confidence he radiates and the maturity he embodies. These qualities are timeless, and they can often outshine the superficial appeal of youth. True confidence is not arrogance. It is not about showing off or trying to dominate others. It is about being comfortable with who you are and carrying yourself with quiet strength. An older man has likely experienced many seasons of life, successes, failures, love, heartbreak, victories, and disappointments. Through those experiences, he learns not to be shaken easily. He no longer feels the need to prove himself in every room he walks into. He knows his worth, and that self-assurance shows in the way he speaks, walks, and interacts. When a man is genuinely comfortable in his own skin, people feel it instantly. That kind of confidence is magnetic. Maturity goes hand in hand with this. A younger man might have physical energy and youthful charm, but he often lacks the steadiness that life's lessons bring. Maturity means knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. It means having the wisdom to understand that not every battle is worth fighting and not every comment deserves a response. An older man, shaped by years of experience, often has a calmness that others find deeply attractive. In a world where people are constantly rushing, anxious, or competing for attention, his presence feels grounding and safe. That safety is one of the strongest forms of attraction because it builds trust and respect without effort. Another reason confidence is so appealing in older men is because it makes them authentic. A man who accepts his age, his changing appearance, and even his flaws, doesn't feel pressured to hide behind pretense. He doesn't dye his hair because society tells him gray is unattractive, he wears it with pride. He doesn't panic over every wrinkle, he treats them as badges of a life well lived. This authenticity is refreshing in a world full of filters, fakeness, and insecurity. People are drawn to those who are real, who show up as themselves without apology. A confident, mature older man does exactly that, and it makes him stand out in any crowd. Confidence is also visible in body language. When an older man walks with good posture, makes eye contact when speaking, and listens without distraction, he shows strength without saying a word. He does not fidget, over-explain, or seek approval in conversations. His gestures are calm and intentional. This quiet confidence is often more powerful than the loud, flashy confidence that some younger men try to display. It communicates leadership, stability, and self-respect. These are qualities that people, especially younger partners, naturally gravitate toward. Maturity adds depth to conversation and relationships. An older man usually knows that life is not about impressing others with superficial things but about connecting with people on a deeper level. When he speaks, his words carry weight. His stories are full of lessons, his advice is rooted in reality, and his perspective reflects wisdom. Younger people, including women in age-gap relationships, often find this incredibly attractive. While youth may bring charm, maturity brings substance, and substance is what builds long-lasting attraction. Confidence and maturity also influence how an older man handles challenges. A younger man may panic, overreact, or give up when things don't go his way. A mature man, however, knows how to stay composed under pressure. He has been through storms before and survived them. That calm resilience is magnetic because it reassures those around him that he is dependable. Dependability is one of the most sought-after qualities in any relationship, romantic or otherwise. When a man can remain steady when everything else feels uncertain, people instinctively respect and admire him. Another aspect of confidence is clarity. By the time a man reaches middle age or older, he usually knows what he wants out of life. He doesn't waste time chasing meaningless things. He has defined values, interests, and boundaries. This sense of direction makes him even more attractive because people want to be around those who have purpose and conviction. Younger individuals, who are often still figuring out their paths, find this particularly appealing. Being around a confident, mature man gives them a sense of stability and guidance. In relationships, confidence and maturity transform the dynamic. A mature man does not play games. He doesn't manipulate, ghost, or chase validation. He treats others with respect and communicates openly. He understands that real attraction comes from trust, kindness, and consistency. This behavior is incredibly attractive in age-gap relationships, where younger partners often look for someone who can provide emotional safety and wisdom, not just physical charm. A confident older man naturally fulfills that role. Furthermore, confidence and maturity inspire others. They create an aura that influences everyone in the room. People look up to such men as role models. They see someone who has faced life's difficulties and still carries himself with dignity. This quiet inspiration is one of the most powerful forms of attractiveness because it goes beyond appearance, it touches the soul. In the end, being a good-looking older man is not about fighting time or competing with youth. It is about embracing who you are with grace. Confidence allows you to own your presence without insecurity. Maturity gives depth, wisdom, and calm energy that younger men often lack. Together, they create a magnetic charm that is timeless. Even if you don't think of yourself as attractive, if you walk with confidence and live with maturity, others will see you as not only good-looking but deeply admirable. As men grow older, one of the most misunderstood truths is that age-related physical changes can actually make them more attractive rather than less. Features such as gray hair, a distinguished beard, or subtle wrinkles are often seen by society as signs of decline, but in reality, they can add a layer of charm that younger men simply cannot match. These traits are not flaws to hide but marks of character, individuality, and maturity. A man who embraces these natural changes instead of fearing them carries a magnetic appeal that draws attention in ways he might not even realize. Gray hair, for instance, is often considered a classic symbol of wisdom and sophistication. Many younger men even dye their hair gray to achieve the salt and pepper look because it communicates distinction and experience. When hair naturally transitions into shades of silver or white, it can highlight facial features, giving the impression of authority and depth. A full head of gray hair or even streaks blended into a darker tone can make an older man stand out in a crowd, not because he is trying to look young, but because he is confidently himself. That kind of authenticity is attractive, and it shows that beauty doesn't fade with age, it simply evolves. Wrinkles, too, tell a story. Instead of being lines of weakness, they are evidence of a life well lived, smiles shared, challenges faced, and wisdom gained. A face with character carries far more weight than a perfectly smooth, expressionless surface. People are drawn to those who have lived, who have felt deeply, and who wear the marks of that journey openly. When a man carries his wrinkles with pride, they become part of his allure rather than something to hide. They make him appear approachable, real, and full of life's lessons. In relationships, these signs of age often reassure partners that they are with someone grounded, someone who has been shaped by time into a stronger, more stable version of himself. Facial hair plays a similar role. A gray or salt and pepper beard has long been associated with masculinity, strength, and dignity. It can soften the face while adding an element of ruggedness. Many women find older men with well-kept facial hair irresistibly attractive because it projects both maturity and vitality. The beard becomes not just a style choice but a statement of confidence and individuality. When combined with calm energy and poise, it can make an older man more captivating than any younger counterpart. Beyond specific features, the overall distinguished look that comes with age is deeply appealing. Youth is often about sharpness and smoothness, but with age comes depth and richness. Think of how a fine wine grows more valuable over time. Similarly, an older man's appearance develops layers of complexity that make him intriguing. This distinguished presence is what makes heads turn even when the man himself doesn't notice. It's not about fitting into modern beauty standards. It's about redefining attractiveness through uniqueness, authenticity, and strength. The charm of aging also lies in contrast. In a world obsessed with staying young, an older man who embraces his natural look without desperately chasing youth stands apart. He does not need to hide behind cosmetic enhancements or trends. Instead, he radiates the message that true beauty lies in being genuine. That message alone is captivating, because it communicates security and confidence. People are drawn to those who are comfortable in their skin, and age features like gray hair or distinguished lines highlight that comfort. One of the most powerful aspects of this kind of attractiveness is its connection to personality. Physical features like gray hair or wrinkles do not stand alone. They are complemented by the maturity, wisdom, and calmness that come with age. When someone sees a man with distinguished features, they instinctively associate him with qualities like experience, intelligence, and reliability. That subconscious association magnifies the appeal. For example, a man with silver hair may be seen as more trustworthy or respectable in professional and social circles. A partner in a relationship may find reassurance in those features because they symbolize stability and grounding. Age features also allow individuality to shine. Younger men often look similar: smooth skin, clean features, and a generic sense of beauty. Older men, however, develop a unique character in their appearance. No two sets of wrinkles are the same. No two salt and pepper blends match perfectly. Each face tells a personal story, and that individuality becomes a form of natural magnetism. Rather than fading into the crowd, a distinguished older man stands out precisely because his features are a map of his life. Another dimension of attractiveness tied to aging is the way others perceive maturity as protective and safe. A man with age features is often assumed to have patience, steadiness, and wisdom, even before he speaks. These traits are deeply appealing in romantic relationships, especially in age gap dynamics, where younger partners often seek guidance and emotional safety. The physical signs of age reinforce those expectations, creating a natural aura of trustworthiness. Even fashion and grooming play a role in enhancing these features. A man with gray hair who dresses with style and care often looks sharper and more elegant than he did in his youth. When he pairs his natural age markers with good grooming, a well-trimmed beard, a neat haircut, and thoughtful clothing, he elevates his entire appearance. Instead of trying to hide his age, he highlights it in a way that shows control, refinement, and pride. That combination is irresistible to many people, because it reflects self-respect and dignity. The perception of attractiveness also evolves as people themselves grow older. While society often markets youth as the standard of beauty, many people find themselves more drawn to older men because they represent qualities beyond superficial looks. They exude depth, reliability, and character. This shift in perception means that an older man who embraces his age is not only attractive to peers but also to younger partners who value these traits. His appearance becomes a blend of physical distinction and emotional maturity, a balance that is hard to resist. At the core of it all is acceptance. The older man who refuses to see gray hair or wrinkles as flaws, but instead views them as natural markers of his journey, sends a powerful message. That message is confidence, and confidence is always attractive. People do not fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with authenticity, character, and uniqueness. Age features are a gift in that sense. They provide a natural way to stand out, to embody a story, and to project depth. In the end, the charm of age lies not in resisting it but in embracing it. Gray hair, wrinkles, or a distinguished look do not diminish beauty, they enhance it by adding richness and individuality. They are physical signs of growth, resilience, and experience. A man who accepts these features as part of his identity, and wears them with dignity, becomes more than good-looking, he becomes captivating. Even if he doesn't recognize it himself, others see the appeal. Age features are not the end of attractiveness. They are often the beginning of a more profound, enduring form of charm. One of the clearest signs that an older man is attractive, even if he does not realize it, is the way younger people are drawn to his presence and respect his aura. Attraction is not only about physical looks, it is also about energy, the kind of energy that fills a room when someone walks in. An older man who carries himself with quiet strength, confidence, and calmness often becomes the center of attention without even trying. Younger people, who are still navigating uncertainty and discovering themselves, find comfort and fascination in the steady aura of someone who has already lived through many stages of life. This pull is not forced, it is natural, and it reflects the deeper kind of attractiveness that comes with age. The aura of an older man is shaped by experience. Life teaches patience, resilience, and perspective, and these qualities create a calm energy that others feel. When someone is around a man who has seen ups and downs but still maintains composure, they instinctively feel safe. Safety is one of the strongest forms of attraction because it allows others to relax and be themselves. Younger people, whether in friendships or relationships, often look for someone who can provide that emotional stability, and older men naturally embody it. The way they listen, the way they speak thoughtfully instead of rushing, and the way they project calmness draws people in, sometimes more powerfully than any outward charm. Respect plays an equally important role. Younger individuals often admire older men because they associate age with wisdom. They may not even consciously realize it, but when they interact with someone who has lived through decades of change, they treat that person with a kind of reverence. This respect is not demanded, it is earned. An older man who shares insights, tells stories with depth, or gives guidance without arrogance becomes a source of inspiration. People enjoy being around those who make them feel they are learning and growing, and this is why younger people gravitate toward the aura of older men who carry wisdom with humility. What makes this attraction even stronger is that it is effortless. A younger man may try hard to impress, using flashy clothes, expensive items, or exaggerated behavior. An older man does not need to. His presence itself is enough. He can sit quietly in a room and still command attention because people sense the authority of experience. This quiet magnetism is often more powerful than anything external. It is the difference between trying to be noticed and naturally being unforgettable. Many older men underestimate this quality because they assume that only youth attracts attention. In reality, their aura, the calm blend of maturity and strength, is often what younger people find irresistible. The way an older man handles interactions also adds to this attraction. He is not desperate for approval, which makes others want to seek his attention more. Younger people often notice that he listens without interrupting, answers without rushing, and engages without judgment. This patience is refreshing in a world where everyone is distracted and hurried. His energy communicates, "You matter, and I am here," and that level of presence is rare. Younger partners, in particular, find this incredibly appealing because it sets him apart from peers who may still be self-centered or inattentive. Social gatherings reveal this magnetic pull clearly. An older man may walk into a room, and without making any effort, people naturally gravitate toward him. They may ask him questions, laugh at his stories, or simply enjoy sitting nearby. His aura makes him approachable yet respectable at the same time, a delicate balance that not everyone can achieve. Younger people often leave such encounters feeling inspired or comforted, even if the conversation was casual. This ability to leave a lasting impression without even trying is a sign of deep attractiveness. Part of this appeal also comes from the perception of authority and protection. Older men often exude a presence that communicates reliability. Whether in business, family, or relationships, younger people see them as pillars of strength. This doesn't mean they must always act dominant, it simply means they project confidence in handling life. For younger individuals who may still feel uncertain about their own paths, being around such stability is comforting. It creates a sense of trust, and trust is one of the foundations of attraction. Another reason younger people respect and are drawn to older men is their ability to offer perspective. In conversations, an older man can shift the tone from shallow to meaningful. He can take a problem that feels overwhelming to a younger person and break it down with clarity. This ability to simplify and guide comes from years of trial and error. Younger people find this not only helpful but also deeply attractive. It shows that the older man is not just someone to admire but someone to rely on. The aura of wisdom becomes a magnet in itself. It is also important to note that aura is not something that can be faked. It is the reflection of character, values, and inner peace. An older man who is bitter, insecure, or constantly complaining may repel people, rather than attract them. But the one who has accepted his life, embraced his age, and carries himself with dignity radiates a different kind of energy. Younger people sense authenticity, and authenticity draws them closer. It reassures them that they are in the company of someone genuine, not someone pretending. This respect and attraction across age groups often show up in age gap relationships. Younger partners are not just drawn to the physical features of an older man but to the atmosphere he creates. His aura makes them feel secure, valued, and cherished. They feel that his presence enriches their lives, not just emotionally but also intellectually. For them, his age is not a disadvantage but an asset, because it means he carries with him qualities that many younger men have not yet developed. The beauty of this kind of attraction is that it doesn't fade with time. If anything, it grows stronger. As men continue to age, their aura often becomes more pronounced. Their calmness deepens, their wisdom expands, and their confidence settles into quiet assurance. Younger people continue to be drawn to them, not out of pity or novelty, but out of genuine admiration. Even when an older man himself doubts his attractiveness, others can clearly see and feel it. In the end, being attractive as an older man is not about fighting against time but about embracing the aura that comes with it. Younger people are naturally drawn to the presence of someone who embodies wisdom, calmness, and authenticity. They respect the aura that tells them this man has lived, learned, and grown into himself fully. This attraction goes far beyond physical appearance, it touches the heart and mind. It is the kind of allure that does not fade but becomes stronger as the years pass, making an older man captivating even when he doesn't recognize it himself. Style, wisdom, and calm energy combine to create a unique attractiveness in older men that is often underestimated by those who possess it. Many men believe that youth and physical appearance are the only measures of being appealing, but as time passes, it becomes clear that deeper qualities are what truly captivate others. When a man develops a strong sense of style, carries the wisdom earned through experience, and radiates calm energy, he becomes magnetic across age groups. These qualities are not about being flashy or loud. They are about subtle power, self-awareness, and the ability to influence the environment around him without effort. Style plays a significant role in shaping perception. For an older man, style does not have to mean chasing the latest trends or trying to dress like someone half his age. Instead, it means understanding what suits him best and wearing it with confidence. A well-fitted suit, a crisp shirt, clean shoes, or even a casual outfit chosen with care can elevate his entire appearance. When clothes are chosen to reflect personality rather than desperation to look younger, they become a statement of self-respect. Younger people often admire this because it shows discipline and awareness. An older man who dresses with elegance communicates that he values himself, and that alone makes him more attractive. Wisdom is another powerful layer of his charm. Unlike youth, which relies heavily on physical appeal, wisdom adds depth and weight to attractiveness. A man who has lived through different challenges, who has succeeded and failed, who has loved and lost, develops an understanding of life that cannot be faked. This wisdom shows in the way he speaks, in the advice he gives, and even in the silence he chooses. People are drawn to someone who makes them feel seen, understood, and guided. Younger partners, especially, are often captivated by the idea of being with someone who can provide perspective and clarity rather than confusion. His wisdom becomes a steady light in a chaotic world, making him someone to admire and cherish. Calm energy completes the picture. In a society full of stress, rush, and constant noise, a man who radiates calm becomes instantly magnetic. His calmness is not just about being quiet but about being centered. He does not overreact, he does not lose control easily, and he knows how to balance emotions even in tense situations. This emotional steadiness makes others feel secure in his presence. Younger people, who may still be dealing with insecurity and instability, find great comfort in this kind of energy. It allows them to relax, to trust, and to feel that they are in safe hands. This aura of calmness is often what separates an older man from younger ones who may still be figuring out how to manage their emotions. When style, wisdom, and calmness come together, the effect is powerful. Imagine an older man walking into a room, dressed simply but elegantly, speaking with thoughtfulness when needed, and exuding a quiet confidence. He does not try to dominate the room, yet people notice him. His presence draws respect, and his demeanor makes people want to be near him. This kind of attraction goes beyond superficial looks. It is about the overall impression that he creates. Even if he does not think of himself as particularly handsome, his qualities leave a lasting impression that others cannot ignore. Relationships reveal this dynamic most clearly. Younger partners in age-gap relationships often talk about how appealing it is to be with someone who knows himself. His style makes him look dignified, his wisdom gives depth to conversations, and his calmness makes the relationship feel stable. Unlike younger men who may chase excitement, older men offer a different kind of charm, one rooted in consistency, authenticity, and reliability. This charm is not about being perfect but about being real. His ability to create balance in a relationship makes him deeply attractive to someone who seeks more than just surface-level appeal. It is also worth noting that these qualities are timeless. Style may evolve, wisdom may grow deeper, and calmness may strengthen with age, but none of them fade. In fact, They often become more pronounced as the years pass. An older man who embraces these aspects of himself continues to attract admiration, sometimes more than he did in his youth. What he once saw as disadvantages, gray hair, wrinkles, or slower pace, are actually enhanced by his style, wisdom, and calm presence. They create a unique combination that no younger man can replicate. Style, wisdom, and calmness also inspire others. Younger men often look at such figures and aspire to become like them. They see someone who has mastered himself and who does not rely on external validation. Younger women, meanwhile, are drawn to the security and depth such men offer. This influence makes the older man not only attractive but also admirable in the eyes of many. His appeal is not limited to romance, it extends to friendships, professional respect, and social recognition. Another key factor is authenticity. When a man tries too hard to appear young, it often has the opposite effect. But when he embraces his age while expressing it with dignity, through well-chosen clothing, thoughtful conversations, and composed behavior, he stands out naturally. Authenticity resonates with people more strongly than forced charm. His style is not about competing with trends, his wisdom is not about showing off, and his calmness is not about pretending. They are simply who he is, and that truth shines brighter than any attempt to mask it. This kind of attractiveness also creates a sense of mystery. People often wonder how someone can remain so composed, how he can always seem prepared, or how he maintains such elegance without effort. This curiosity keeps others interested. Unlike youthful charm, which can be loud and fleeting, the appeal of style, wisdom, and calmness is subtle and enduring. It does not demand attention, but it consistently receives it. In essence, style, wisdom, and calm energy transform an older man into someone who appeals across age gaps. These qualities create a complete picture of attractiveness that goes far beyond the surface. They make him a figure of respect, admiration, and desire all at once. While he may not always recognize it in himself, others certainly do. People feel drawn to him not only for how he looks but for how he makes them feel. He makes them feel safe, valued, and inspired, and that is the ultimate measure of attractiveness. Even if an older man doubts his appeal, these qualities prove otherwise. Style shows he values himself, wisdom shows he understands life, and calmness shows he can handle whatever comes his way. Together, they form an aura that makes him captivating, whether he realizes it or not. His attractiveness is not fading with age, it is being redefined and strengthened. That is why across generations, people continue to respect, admire, and even fall in love with men who embody these timeless traits.